to say, like what my sister said while he was analyzing, go to government and view some of the things that are going on. How do you manage it when the hunter is being hunted? Most of the time, you see that the head of EFCC, by the time they have not, I've not seen anyone being retired. You see that they are actually being, removed from office for one issue or the other. Allegations that most of the time you come out and you substantiate it. The judges are there when you take those cases to court. What is they have to act as check and balancing. The people that gave us this thing do not say be a romance. I remember those days when we were in school, our Student Representative Council, you have to check the SUG of their activities in terms of spending, in terms of activities that they would do. I was the head of SRC then, as far as it's concerned, and they know that you just have to be up and doing because you are talking about taxpayers' money. So don't blame the people that are expending it. Pardon me, I'm not encouraging it, but you see, there is nobody that will see lacuna that will not throw cautions to win. What they are doing is they saw the lacuna, the opportunity to wall up our money, and nobody is checking them, and they feel they can have a free day. But if you have seen instances where some of these people that are having this frivolous, expenditure are behind the bar. We've seen instances in Asian countries where capital punishment is the way to go because you're actually killing people when you misappropriate the funds that are actually, or what we see is plea bargaining. Somebody having.
I think that call was all right. Let's quickly move on. We have just a couple of minutes to go, but don't forget that the phone lines are open. You can also take part in the discussion by dialing 0700 1021 1021. You can also send WhatsApp message to 0907 224 5018. We're streaming live on YouTube at High Impact 102.1 FM and on X at High Impact 102.1 FM.
See, I do understand what he's saying about having checks and balances. Olumide, when there is no law, when there is no punishment for a crime, everybody will become criminals because it's not a big deal. It's not.
Where there's no law, there's no sin.
Exactly. Everybody,
we have laws in the country.
But there is nobody to hold you accountable. It's like, there is water somewhere and you're not sure if you should drink or not, so everybody's drinking anyways. It's there. So there's nobody, there's no checks, there's no balance, there's no tap, there's no lock, there's nothing. It is there. And these people that are supposed to be the checks and the balance are not doing what they are supposed to do. And then later on, possibly 2 years later, we start hearing, they are going to be prosecuted for one thing they have done 3 years ago. Where were you when it was happening in your very eyes? Where were you when all of this was happening? Where were you?
It's that's one of the reasons why I'm skeptical about the president appointing some key people like the anti-graft agency. Who gets to run the anti-graft agency? Who gets to run the electoral body? I'm skeptical about the executive or the president electing such or appointing such people, because where's the autonomy? Where's that independence? Where's the actual independence? If my boss, I'm heading an anti-graft agency, and my boss is the one who brought me to office, how will I go after his people, his political party faithfuls, without telling him that Oga, one of your boys is misbehaving, or what should I do? And Oga says, don't worry, leave him, I'll talk to him, and that's the end. That's just it. So I'm skeptical about this. That's why these people cannot really go after these people, because how can you go after a president absurd spending when he is the one that put you in the office?
That's what makes it unfortunate.
He would remove you.
Hello, sir, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I will not want to tell the parts where you are saying. First and foremost, my sister, there are laws, and we have the best law when it comes to this country. Our problem is always implementation. It's not like talking as per policies, fantastic policies on our part. Implementation is our problem. And you see, the fact that the president is appointing you, you have your independence, of which you are there. You see, when he appoints you and you do what is needful, because you are there to protect the interest of the citizen, not to protect the interest of the president. And that's the mistake people make. When you get to office, there are do's and don'ts. There are actually, steps, procedure you have to follow for your office. As even emanated from even the presidency. So if the president is actually at fault, are you going to tell me if somebody actually engage your service, high up there where you are, and is doing something wrong, you feel because he's the one that engaged you, posterity will judge you. You see, part of the things we forget is that 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, even after you've done a lot of things, people will come up to tell you that this is what your father did, this is what your parents did, this is what your uncle did, and it will become a problem for your generation that is even unborn. Look at some of the things that have been unraveled. But most of the time when you unravel it, Nigeria, we are a very comical nation. You turn it to be joke. Just somebody saying that having community service is like I did not do, he or she did not serve the country as a youth corper. So when they actually punished him to carry out community service, he said he's actually doing a bit, to serve the nation. Is that not funny? That's the way we see ourselves in this country. A punishment being, converted. In fact, if care is not taken, they turn it out to be a skit that everybody start laughing about. So until we are intentional and serious, that someone appoints you into a place, you might even be put there because of the, integrity you must have exhibited over time. If you cannot speak to the authority because you are in a particular place, it becomes a problem on your own part, because the person will be out and your name will be the one to model up. That's just the truth. Even in the private sector, a lot of people will come, invite you and say, we want you to do this particular thing. Some people will stand up and say, I'm sorry, I cannot do this, because you would have exited as the managing director of the company when they will be inviting me to come and defend this that are put in place. And we've seen it happen. So it's about individual and not about even president appointing you. President will not be there when your name will actually be tainted, and you might be affecting your generation on board. Those are the things that we must put at the back of our mind. You see, we keep saying it that we've lost our values. Those days they will tell you that good name is better than riches.
Yes.
But these days what we have learned or what we are promoting is that riches is better than name, because you can decide to change your name.
Yes. Yes, I'm
when you have
telling
the money.
Yes, you're right about that.
So that is the value proposition we've lost. Those days you want to protect the name of your father. In fact, when you are leaving the house, they'll tell you, remember the son and the daughter of who you are. But what do we get now? I have the money. What is my name? Olusegun. I can decide to change it to Sefan, and you can't trace all the bad things I have done. So we must go back to value proposition. What are we teaching the younger generation? People are saying, I was in a program yesterday, and the question the person asks is, how can I get involved to be part of the people that will lead? Somebody that is just coming into the space of things because his understanding is that, let me quickly get to the top to maybe become one of the executives so that I can enjoy the largesse. You understand? So we must go back to our value proposition in such a way that we value our name, the name of your family, that will run through it. Look at what we have now.
Okay.
Is there any way you will mention Awolowo and people will not give respect to that name? That was when name was actually attributed to you. You are boasting of it. But these days, that's not what you get. So value proposition we must go back to it, so that you don't start changing name after you have actually done what is needful. People commit atrocity when they japa, and the next time when you see them maybe on social media, you will hear that Olumide is no longer Olumide, it's my day.
All right.
You understand? My day. And you ask yourself, why is my day coming? Olumide Lonjena, that's your name. So I just believe that more of this will be done, and we'll have a better and sane environment.
Thank you very much, Jason Okwadi. Thank you very much for the impactful knowledge. I really enjoyed the discussion this morning. Thank you very much.
We appreciate you. Do enjoy the rest of your
Thank
day.
you very much for having me.
Thank
Same
you.
here.
Alrighty.
Yes, a lot has been spoken. We would always keep on talking about these issues, and we hope that the right people are listening and the right people will take action. The agencies involved will take actions and start to probe and start to conduct their due diligence, investigate, and see how we can curb our spending, because it's not looking good right now. And I think that's all we have. This is where we draw the curtains on the newspaper review on High Impact 102.1 FM. I am Olumide Shokoya.
I am Omobolade Oladipo. Morning Impact Show continues. Good morning.